As the final days of December unfold, it's not just officials and the government reflecting on the year's milestones. The New Time team has also taken a moment to revisit the most significant events of 2024 in Kazakhstan that we had the privilege of covering. The list is extensive and varied, ranging from natural disasters to global summits and a series of visits by world leaders to Kazakhstan. Darren Isagulov has the full story.
Speaking about the most significant events in Kazakhstan, one cannot ignore the largest natural disaster in the past 80 years. This is how President Tokayev described the massive spring floods that occurred in the northern and western regions of Kazakhstan this April. According to official data, more than 100,000 people were forced to leave their homes, and the total damage is estimated at $500 million. Responding to this disaster, the head of state, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, addressed the nation on April 6th and made several trips to the disaster-stricken regions.
Addressing
the citizens affected by the flooding, I want to declare, none of you will be left without the attention of the state. Financial and other necessary assistance will be provided to all of you, and all your material losses will be compensated.
However, the floods were not the only reason Kazakhstan was in the global media spotlight during that period. A high-profile murder trial involving Kondik Bishimbayev, a former government minister in Kazakhstan, has captivated millions, drawing attention to the country's pressing issue of domestic violence. The tragedy sparked widespread debate in Kazakhstan about the need to toughen penalties for domestic abusers. Finally, on June 16, the country enacted a progressive law on domestic violence, which imposes stricter penalties for violence against women and children. The Human Rights Watch called this a significant step forward for Kazakhstan and Central Asia, while emphasizing that the law still requires further improvements. Diplomacy has become a key asset for Kazakhstan in recent years, and 2024 vividly showcased this with many significant events. On June 3rd, during a meeting of CSTO member states, President Tokayev announced that Kazakhstan is removing the Taliban from its list of terrorist organizations. This decision, according to authorities, is primarily justified by the necessity of developing trade and economic cooperation with Kabul. Afghanistan serves as an important market for Kazakhstan's flour exports. After coming to power, the Taliban surprised the world by proclaiming a moderate policy and pledging to uphold women's rights. While covering this topic, we reached out to Afghan human rights activist Mahbuba Siraj, who shared first-hand insights about the situation on the ground directly from Kabul.
We are dealing with poverty. We are dealing with the winter that is here and we don't have any food. We are dealing with women and girls above the 6th grade that can't go to school. We are dealing for the hospitals that don't have any proper staff of nursing nor women doctors to look after everybody. We are dealing with women cannot walk on the streets alone. They have to have a mahram that they can go around with. We are dealing with a lot of hardship. We are dealing with a kind of a darkness that has wrapped around us completely.
On July 3rd and 4th, residents of Astana recall unprecedented security measures as the city hosted world leaders for the SCO summit. Among the notable guests was Chinese President Xi Jinping, who arrived in the country on a state visit. For the first time, these events were jointly covered by the teams of Silkway and CGTN. The summit concluded with the adoption of several joint documents, the transfer of the chairmanship from Kazakhstan to China, and the organization's expansion with Belarus becoming a new member. Summarizing the outcomes of the summit, President Tokayev called for stronger consolidation among SCO member states and closer integration with other international organizations.
Голос ШОС должен и будет громче звучать на международной арене.
The SCO's voice must be strong on the international stage, promoting a unified stance on contemporary issues. Our statement on principles of good neighborliness,
trust, and partnership is highly relevant.
From September 1st to 13, 2024, Kazakhstan experienced a significant increase in tourist flow with nearly 600,000 foreign visitors, according to the Ministry of Tourism. This surge was driven by a major sporting event hosted in the country, the 5th World Nomad Games. Athletes from over 80 countries competed in the traditional nomadic sports, with the largest delegations coming from Kyrgyzstan, China, Hungary, Mongolia and Russia. In total, more than 2,500 athletes participated. Viewers were especially captivated by the grand opening ceremony and the vibrant array of guests. In the early days of the Games, the Silkway team had the opportunity to speak with the president of the World Ethnosport Confederation, Nekmedin Belal Erdogan, who emphasized the importance of this event for the entire Turkic world.
Of course, this is a traditional sports event headed by the Turkic world, and it's an important event because it's the largest international sporting event that caters only to the traditional sports and games. After the 4th Nomad Games, we know that Astana is going to be the best event that has been organized so far.
Another notable guest during those September days was Olaf Scholz. The German Chancellor visited Kazakhstan for the first time on an official trip. The visit included high-level talks in Astana and the second meeting in the Central Asia plus Germany format. Chancellor Scholz was accompanied by a large delegation of business representatives. Some experts suggested that the primary focus of the visit was to explore alternative partners for securing resources such as oil and gas. At the end of September, Minister of Energy Almassadam Satkaliyev confirmed that Germany had submitted a request to increase oil supplies from Kazakhstan to 2.5 million tons by the end of 2024.
We are committed to doing everything possible to improve the conditions of our economic relations, to facilitate direct investments in your country and to expand opportunities for mutual trade. Of course, we also want to develop economic cooperation in other areas and very pleased with the steady progress in energy cooperation.
It's worth noting that this year the energy sector has been a source of concerns not only for international partners but also for the people of Kazakhstan. The construction of the country's first nuclear power plant was a hotly debated topic, both among experts and the general public. Proponents of the project emphasized the need for new energy resources, while opponents expressed general mistrust of nuclear energy. The issue was officially resolved on October 6, when Kazakhstan held a referendum on the construction of the nuclear power plant. According to the Central Election Commission, 71% of voters supported the project. Which of Kazakhstan's partners will participate in the construction and when it will begin remains an open question. Dauren Sagulov, New Time.